Hey, this is Zach, and today I'll be talking about my Photoshop project. So a basic description of the project that I did. I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to do, and I hadn't worked a lot with Photoshop, so I figured I'd do that. So my learning goal was to kind of have a basic overview or knowledge of Photoshop and, at least learn a few of the tools because there is a lot of tools on Photoshop. Um, and so I ended up creating about 5 pictures. Each I've got one with brushes and some with photo manipulation. So I'll show those to you in a little bit. So the technology that I used would obviously be the program Photoshop CS6. I used several tutorials over brushes and photo manipulation. I'll attach those in the link in the description. You can welcome to view them. They're a great help. If I just recommend that you watch as many tutorials as you can to learn as much as you can, because Adobe Photoshop is tough to get the hang of. It's definitely a lot of learning. Project plan review. Whenever you're doing anything that is is important, you need to plan for it, especially a big project. It's easy for something to go wrong, so you need to allow time to be able to fix things, and plus it helps you keep you on track and not let you get too far behind. So I followed my plan pretty closely. I didn't really have to change anything. And I know previously I had built things for my projects, and those are harder to follow because something goes wrong with those almost every single time you do anything. But I guess the same thing can apply to Photoshop because it is hard to get the hang of. So, something you might screw something up. So, planning is pretty important. Now I'll show you the pictures I made, including my final, which I will show you a screen recording of. This is the very first thing I created. It's pretty basic. I just wanted to, accomplish something, I guess, because I really hadn't done much up to that point. And as it doesn't look as great as I thought it would, it's still, I thought I did okay on it. This, I created these birds here. I created a brush of, so I had to cut out the bird and make a brush and then print that on this picture. Here I had some fun with, I love to play baseball, so I thought I'd take some of these good pictures and add a cool effect to them. I have another one as well. This one might be my favorite compared to the other one. And then here I'll let you take a look at my final project, which I am very proud of, and I really like the effect that I was able to put on it. Here I'll show you the screen capture of it. So basically what I did is I took this picture of Coronado Heights at the sunset, and let me speed it up for you here. Let me get to the first thing I did was I lassoed and cut out all of Coronado Heights, nothing in the background, just the stone itself. And I had to get rid of some of the extra stuff the lasso tool caught. And then I wanted to add just kind of a simple filter, and so I'll show you a few of the filters here, just so you can get an idea of anything you can do on Photoshop. So I played around with those, kind of moved around, didn't find one until I found this one called Film Grain, which I really liked. So I thought I would just add that one. So now that I had my filter on, just to make it look a little bit better, I then added text here to create, which is the second step of this project, which I saw on a picture online, and I thought it was, I was looking at Photoshop picture ideas, and I saw this one, and I thought it'd be kind of cool to do a picture with Coronado Heights, and so I created this text of Lindsberg, and I, for a while, messed around with the font and ended up going back to the original font, just because I liked that best. I didn't really like any of the other ones. Now what I'm going to do is place the Lindsberg layer under the picture so that when I go up here to create the clipping mask, it'll cut out the picture and it'll only display it in the letters. Now the next step in which I did was to put on the background, which I thought would be cool since, all Swedish heritage. I'd throw on a Swedish flag, except I didn't really like this Swedish flag, so I went to Google, got me a different Swedish flag that I liked. Here we go, that's the one I liked. Maybe. There it is. And then so I wanted to do is throw on a kind of vignette type of thing, just to, darken the edges and bring the focus more towards the middle a little bit. And it's actually pretty easy to do. I'll show you here how to do it. Okay, so what I want to do is, to make it just a little bit more bold, I wanted to outline the text in black. So I just added a stroke to the text. I just like black, so I went with black, and it just kind of pops a little bit more. Not to mention, screen recording this was about the 20th try, so I could do it all in a short amount of time, so I didn't want to have to, first time I did this took me, I don't know, about 45 minutes at least to do something, and then I did it several times after that, messed up quite a few times. But, so, this is like the 10th practice round, finally. So here I just played around with brushes. I didn't really think I wanted to add any, but I thought just in case I did, it wouldn't hurt to add a brush. So what I did is I created a new layer and filled the whole thing with black, and then I just took the eraser and made it really big so I could add that vignette type effect. Didn't really like how that went. I thought it was a little bit off center, so I did it again, and I think it looked better that time when I did it. I messed around with some brush effects and didn't really like any of them. That's okay. Didn't necessarily need a brush. You saw the brushes I did on my other projects. So I think that is the end of my screen capture. So I'll go back here. So entire overview of the project. I learned the best way in Photoshop to figure out how to do something is to just watch tutorials over a basic idea of what you have, and then just practice. Play around with it, mess around until you figure it out, or you figure something else out that you like better. But yeah, there's no good way to just learn how to use Photoshop. Problem solving is a big part of major projects. I think my biggest problem solving was just in each picture. There wasn't a huge mess up of each one, but I just had to play around and mess around with it, and I messed up a lot, and I had to restart, and so it definitely takes some time. If I could redo my project, I would do more brushes work. Um, I thought about doing it, but then again, I wasn't really a big fan of the brushes, mainly because I'm not much of an artist, so I didn't have confidence in my ability to draw, even on a computer. So I kind of stuck to more photo manipulation, but I still learned a lot about brushes in my project. I think the biggest success probably was finishing each piece of work and being able to look back on it and be proud of it and say that's kind of cool. I created that, and you can do a simple thing like those sports edits I did, and you can do those in 10 minutes, or you can do a big project like I did my final one of Coronado Heights with the Lindsberg text on it, and that takes you some. That took me a couple days to, like 6 days to practice and figure it out until I finally got it, and then now that I had the hang of it, then I finally took the screen capture. But the biggest success was definitely probably that last one too, as well. Just kind of finishing everything up. So that is my project on Photoshop. I hope it encourages all of you to go out and try some Photoshop because it is a fun thing to mess around with. So that's all I have for you.